Welcome to Quy Nhon. Hi, I'm Stu. I'm a backpacker from England travelling around Southeast Asia as much as I can. Now I do go to tourist spots, but most of the time I like to go off the beaten track to random places, and you can't get much randomer than this place. Now I got here yesterday and this city is halfway between Nha Trang and Hoi An. Now most backpackers will do the overnight journey on a sleeper bus, which will take about 10 hours. I decided to break it up to come to this place just to see what it's like. And it's quite nice. So not many backpackers come here, not many tourists come here at all either. However, going online, this place is in about 10 years time gonna be big. And already you can see just up there a brand new resort being built, and further on down there is a couple more, and it's got meant to have some amazing beaches which we'll go down to in a minute. And that wind is probably annoying but so nice in this seat because it's about 34 degrees. But as you can see, the roads are wide. There's not a lot of traffic compared to other major cities. It's just nice that you can actually cross the road without being knocked over. So I did have a little wander out this morning, didn't go too far. I headed across over to Highland Coffee over there as I needed a coffee first thing this morning. And I passed this thing here. It is a statue, a monument. I've not got a clue because there's not a lot of information about the city and its things to see. But that's big. And I'm assuming it's got something to do with peace, love and war. But even the background's quite impressive. Get a bit closer. It looks like how the city was built. Maybe. Huh. The wind's picked up so much that I've had to turn my hat back to front, so I look a bit more cooler. But the hostel I'm staying in, as you don't get that many backpackers coming in, I came in this last night and there was one other guy staying, an Australian bloke, and he left this morning, which means at this moment in time I am the only person staying in the hostel, which I'll get to later on and show you what the room's like and the prices. But all I'm doing now is heading towards the beach and show you what it's like down there. Whenever I come to a new city, I try and get a scooter and just head off around the area. The hostel I'm staying in doesn't have any scooters at the moment for rent, but the owner did say you don't need one. You can just walk around and it's small enough to see everything that you need to see. So the beach is just there. I'm trying to get away from the wind. But as you can see, the gardens are beautiful, and there are guys working on this all the way down, and it is well kept, very clean. Just, it's beautiful, lots of flowers. And look at this beach. Golden sands, few waves, and not one single person on it. Oh my god. In 10 years time it'll all be different. Walking along the promenade, a martial art posture in Zhukt sea called Performance. And they've got little statues like that all the way down, as well as a lot of gym equipment. But I am shocked that there's nobody on the beach. One of the places I visited last week was Quy and that's famous for its sand dunes, and where you can go on ATVs and go around and slide down sand dunes. This place has got its own, and it's further on down that way. It's about a couple of kilometres down, and it's less well known but just as good. Now I would have had a wander down if I didn't have so much to see around this area, but even this beach, there's nobody on it. Where's the tourists? Ask this guy, where's the tourists? He's doing a martial art posture in a three-legged tiger called Performance. Oh, he looks too serious. But that wind is just nice. Oh, I've just seen two people on the beach. Got very excited. I found out they were there just picking up rubbish. And I think I'm right in the centre of the beach area. That wind is still strong. Let's have a closer look at this. Hotspot. I like. And just over there at the end of the island is a small fishing village, which is worth going to if I had a bike. Right, I'm going to head into town away from this wind and have a look at some more stuff. I've come away from the beach. You can tell there's no wind. And I'm in, I think, the city centre. Plenty of shops, wide streets, but it's just quiet. It's Saturday afternoon. Oh my god, they're big pots. Oh. Saturday afternoon and there's nobody around. Bit of traffic. That's what I need. Fan. Hello. I just find the people really nice, they're all friendly, they're all smiling. Coming out of the main streets here, I've just found this, which is Kon Stadium, and it's the home of the Maryland Kon Din Football Club. I hope I've said that right. So I've obviously had to do a bit of googling to find out about this place. Capacity of 20,000 seater stadium, and these guys are in the top league of Vietnam's football league. Now, as I walked in, I had a little sign I was showing the way out of the last football match they played, which was on the 31st of March, so just missed it, and it was against Ho Chi Minh City. No idea if they've won or not. But I was going to have a... Oh, there's a door open. Can we go in? Nothing ever usually stops me. Got some kids playing down there. That looks like a decent pitch. So it's the San Van Dong going on. A couple of temples on the outside. So I've just been online to find out where in the league they are. There's another match happening in about a week and a half's time, but they're currently 4th in the league, so they must be pretty good. Maryland. But as I said, it's right in the centre. There's all the matches up there that is coming up. That is interesting. Vietnam football. I'll have a wander down here, have a look at these temples. I've walked around the corner from where the stadium is, and this is the temple. Oh my god, that's quite big. Wowzers. Close up with her. Draglins. There's stairs at every level. Again, I'm not too sure if I'm allowed in here, but if they leave the gate open, I want to come in. So there's a temple there. She looked quite happy with herself. There's tourists with cameras. That's quite naturist. Lily pond. This is quite peaceful from the main road there. So I think this is a Buddhist school. And I've seen these before. This is consequences of life and what will happen to you. Maintain proper light at public places, which means you get gorgeous eyes with excellent vision. Huh. But if you don't save electricity and energy, you'll be born into inconvenient places. Karma. Oh, I do like this place. It's got a certain zen about it. Now that's a wooden sculpture. Stunning. Do like the lanterns everywhere. This is a big place. Just goes on and on. Now there are stairs that'll take me to the next floor up. I might not do that, just in case it's not allowed, being the safe side. But you've got the chimes just from over there. Oh. the Buddhist temple just up there is... You didn't even have to beep this horn. But there's this one. There's a Catholic church. And from Catholic churches I've seen over here, that's pretty good. You do find that they're all very plain, as in European churches have got the stonework and everything, and this is just plain. Can you see that about church? But still, oh, what's this over here? Open air concert for Jesus. Looks like a school next door. I don't know if we can go in. Doors are locked. Right, I am now going to go to the other side of the city, and instead of walking I'm just going to get a grab taxi bike. I think I've seen one online already because I've checked it out. It's about 24,000 dong. Cheap. Just been dropped off by the Grab taxi driver down here, and without realizing, as you drive down, this end is the touristy end. There's so many resort hotels, and you can have a look at the beach. And if you are coming here, there's some special guests for last month which I missed. Now, I was just down on the other end 5 minutes ago, and if this is the touristy end, that means there'll be people on the beach, and there's people in the sea. They're missing out from down there. It's quieter, and that wind is picked up again. Oh my god, it's packed. There's a lot more people down here. Oh wow. Nice little area. And there's Westerners down here. And it's just as clean and tidy as the other end. Gardens are really nice. And every single little tree coming down are all triangular shape. I thought it was quite nice. Now the sun is starting to come down. I have been out for a few hours, and my transport, the train, leaves tomorrow at 7:15. And because it's the next town up, I need to leave the hostel for 6:15 in the morning, which means I need to have an early night. So I'm going to head off now. And one thing before I go is, every major city that you go to, you will find an Irish bar. Every city in Vietnam, you will find an Australian bar, and there's one just over there. And I'm tempted to have a wander in and have a orange juice, see if there are any expats living around here, just as a curiosity. So I've not long got back from the Aussie bar where I had an orange juice. There were a couple of people, but they were just so engrossed in the sports that I didn't bother talking to anybody. But I'm back at the hostel. So the hostel I'm staying at is called Five Elements, and it's nice. It's a 4-man bunk. The aircon is amazing. And for the first time ever in our hostel room, as a TV and a hairdryer and a fridge with a very modern shower and toilet, which, as I said, I think I said it's £6 a night, and I found it on Hostel World. You can find it on booking.com, and the owner speaks English, which is a bonus. But there's a rooftop as well, so I'm going to show you that very quickly. And I've just realised that someone's just moved in. So it's not just me in the hostel tonight, but it's designed like a hotel. So I don't know if this is a hotel and a hostel. I mean, it's got a lift. And this is the rooftop. I mean, it's dark now, so you won't be able to see a lot. The skyline. And it's perfect for first thing this morning when I came up, and I just looked out and it was just nice. But as I said, I'm up early in the morning, so I'm going to have a very early night. So if you've enjoyed this tour of the city, then press that like button. I am off to Hoi An tomorrow. I will get there hopefully by just after lunch, so I better go out and get a first impressions of what Hoi An is like. But you need to subscribe to see it. So until next time, bye bye for now.